Adam Sandler, the one guy that I honestly cared the least about. If there was one person who I thought is an alright actor, I think it's this one right here. There's always something about his films that honestly throws me off the wrong way. None of them doesn't have a good plot or characters. They're mostly a mixed bag, or in some cases, bad. But most of his films always have one thing in common. It's the humor. No matter how sad and serious it can be, it's mostly satire most of the time. Which is fine, but the fact he does it so often in his films is kind of overwhelming. But back when I first saw these films when I was like 12 to 13, I thought they were fine, but now that I got older and mature, this isn't funny, it's just gross. Most of these Sandler films I can actually tolerate, but this certain animated film, that's a different story. 8 crazy nights, more like 8 unhinged nights, am I right? This dumpster fire of a Hanukkah movie is one of those bad Sandler films, or in this case, one of the worst animated films you could ever see. I didn't get all the details in production, but apparently this movie was animated by several studios, which was pretty interesting. So, they all worked together to wrap this movie up in the present and shipped it to theaters on November 27th, 2002, and it was garbage! Not only it received negative reception from critics, it also bombed at the box office. How unfortunate. But hey, at least Sandler won a Kids' Choice Award for favorite voice from an animated movie, while at the same time nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for worst actor. Ouch. Like Watership Down, I've heard about this film for quite some time, and since this was a Sandler film, I really wasn't that interested. Especially how weird and disgusting it could be. But I think it's time to swallow my pride and jump on in. This movie follows the story of good old Adam Sandler. His actual name is Davy Stone, but at the same time, I just don't care. A 33-year-old alcoholic with a criminal record has a reputation all over town for absolutely despising the holiday spirit. He always finds himself in trouble with the law after his wild ways go too far. In keeping with the holiday spirit, the judge gives Sandler one last chance at redemption. See fellas, not all judges aren't corrupted. He either has to spend the holiday performing community service as the assistant referee for the youth basketball league or go to jail for 10 years. The plot honestly reminds me of The Grinch in some way. The main character hates the holiday spirit, he hates everyone in town, always causing mischief, it practically fills in the boxes. But Phil, why does the main character hate the holidays so much? Apparently, his parents died in a car crash while Sandler was at a basketball game, so he went from a passionate and sweet dude to a Grinch. Also, can we just stop and talk about Mr. Whitey for a second? So he's Sandler's mentor, trying to convince him that the holiday spirit is a wonderful experience. Okay, that's not too bad. And he also risks every bone in his body to help everyone in town. Okay, that's not too bad either, but the way he's been treated throughout the entire movie is awful. Making fun of his height is one thing. Making fun of his hairy body is another thing. Rejecting him from prom, that's another thing as well. But using Whitey's contributions as an advantage to abuse him, that's where I draw the line. Even if he is made as a laughingstock for the entire movie, that's just sad, it's not even funny at this point. Thankfully, he does get that one award he deserves by the end of the movie, but even then, why did it take so long to do so? Overall, the plot is just meh. The humor?
Oh mama, you like it when I hold you like this? Cause I'll do it all night long. So sweet.
It's an Adam Sandler movie. At this point, what were you really expecting? Again, most of Sandler's films are satire and this one is no different, but it's the worst kind. If there was only one word that describes the humor in this movie, it's just flat out cringe. How is a fat boy putting on a bra funny? Or this? Why did I need to see this? And this? Ugh. I need a shower and a therapy session by the time I'm done here. Now, despite the generic plot and despite the fact that the humor is just downright garbage, the animation is this movie's only saving grace. It was animated in a style of television holiday specials. In most cases, this works. It actually looks like you're watching a direct-to-video holiday special, while at the same time, you're actually watching a movie. Like, the animation is pretty spot on, especially the animation in this certain musical sequence, which I'll get into that in a minute. Now, when it comes to characters, they all have the Iron Giant look to them, and I thought it's because Warner Brothers Animation also helped animate this movie, which honestly surprised me. It kinda bums me out that this visually stunning animation work has been attached to such a punching bag of a movie. But hey, you might as well give this movie credit where credit is due. Many studios were involved to animate this movie and they all hit it out of the park. Can you believe that this movie is a musical? Yup, that means I have to go through the entire soundtrack, so here we go. Davy's song, the opening song of this movie, it's kinda mediocre. At the Mall, Technical Foul, Intervention song, they're all not that great. Bum Biddy, I thought that was an okay song, but the ending kinda made me lost interest.
Bum bitty 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 bum bum, bum bitty 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 bum.
What? Then there's Long Ago, which I'm honestly embarrassed to say this, but this is the only song in this entire movie that I actually like. I don't know, I guess I expected the worst when I saw this movie, then all of a sudden this starts playing and it automatically became the greatest thing in this entire movie. Whenever a character is mean, I always ask myself one question: have they always been like this? Or they used to be a sweet and passionate person? And this song does a decent job at it. Not only we take a look at Sandler's childhood, we also know about his love life back in the day, which goes a little deep into the character, which is pretty nice. Overall, the soundtrack, it's not that good, but I'll give it points for the Long Ago song. I actually have a soft spot for that one. The more I look at this, the more disappointed I am. And what's more disappointing is that this is the only animated Hanukkah movie, which honestly feels like a spit in the face of anything. And for the people who celebrates Hanukkah, honestly deserves a lot better than this. And for being Adam Sandler's first animated film, was it a good start? Well, you already know the answer to that. The story wasn't all that bad, though it kind of feels cheesy. If anything, the biggest problem I have with this movie was the humor. It became the biggest turnoff in an animated film for me so far. In the end, I don't ever want to go back to this one. I'm not saying that Adam Sandler is terrible at making movies, far from it. Again, I think he's alright, and with his next animated musical, Leo, it's actually better. But at least 8 Crazy Nights isn't like the Christmas tree from 1991. What is this? Well, I don't have anything else to announce here, so I really don't know where to cap it off. Well, I guess I do have this sneak peek of one of my recent animations. Editor, you know what to do. Huh?